This exercise is that the whole point is to not to drop the ball. You have to catch the ball before it drops, and you have to have control. So if you take the first bagger and the ball goes away, you have to run, get the ball, get back and continue. So you're going to take as many as you want. This last part is the start of learning how to dive. You roll back and you get up, and then you have to, almost like diving, get cushioning, finger size. But the thumbs have to look at each other, because if they are like this, they're not looking at each other and it's too shallow, and if they're like this, it's too wide. So they have to kind of look at each other, and they have to be above the head, and that is a thing that he has to comment often. Don't touch the elastic. They are going, the last time they were going up and then over, but they have to go directly. The different training principles, like the distance from the net to where you're standing is like the last part of the arm. This distance is correct, you say. And then that you have to be with the chest against the net. And you can turn away, but before you're jumping you have to return towards the net. And then thirdly, you have to put the hand, it's important to practice how to put the hand over the net. How the hands come directly over the net and not upwards and then over. It's talking about how the different players have different approaches to block, because if you are a diagonal, it's much more easy for you to take a blocking approach to the right side, instead of if you are outside hitter, it's easy for you to go to the left. So it's important to practice both sides. The right side. Accordingly, where he touches, it touches with both hands. It's a point system. The thrower can make not thrown, like, and I don't know how to say it in English. Making and if you have a good block, it's 1 point. Yeah. But it has to be a good block. If you just touch it, it's not good. -1. And the one who's throwing the ball can move a little bit, not much, but he can move and fake or move and throw. And it's important that the blocker touches the ball on the opponent's side. When the attacker is standing on the ground hitting, it's important to emphasize how to put your hands over the net, because when the ball gets from lower towards higher, it's easier that the ball goes outwards if you don't have to put the hands right and the right timing. But it's also easier to get a good block. A continuing, more challenging exercise, that the coaches is standing there and pointing to the hitters on the other side who is going to hit, and you can also touch the middle player if he's going to jump straight up with a pipe or a center attack. And it's the same technique as before, but the center player has to be more conscious of where the ball is coming. The more closer bunch read system is more normal in a higher level to better get the block to the first tempo players. But also in youth volleyball it's practical to learn this for the little like a second tempo central attack. They come more wider range, so you can use it in all kinds of volleyball. Now he is or throwing the ball or calling the name of the two outside hitters. and they hit when he called their name. This one followed. You need a straight vertical jump to not sail outwards. And now the two person on the table is holding the ball, and then they take it over the net, counting to 2 seconds, and then they take it away. In that way the blockers are forced to get more speed to do it much faster than before. So, but they are emphasizing that you have to jump straight up and not sail. A more complicated exercise is that the persons on the table can either say jump or count 1, 2 and take the ball away again. If he just says jump, the blocker has to just jump straight up and block. And if he just lifts the ball for 2 seconds, the blocker has to go out and block. They can choose themselves. He is saying that they can either jump 3 times if they get it right the first time, or they have to jump 100 times if they don't get it right. So they have to have 3 consecutive good balls. That this kind of exercises doesn't train so much the timing when the hitter is jumping to attack, but one upside is that you can touch the ball many times and get the feeling of how to touch the ball. It's an exercise to train between the 3 blockers. That he can either scream his name or the libero's name and they have to hit, or he can move and throw the ball and the blocker has to block that ball. So it's they have to read and look at where the ball is getting from. Again, I have to emphasize that the ball doesn't go through the block, and a good movement without side jumping. Connection between the block at the position 3 and the defense at position 6. They're committing against the central player, so they're just reading where he hits and just go after the ball. Two times each. They're jumping with the hands wide and then going after the ball, because they know that a good attacker does never hit straight, so they are just waiting to see where he hits. Practice the velocity of the charging. You get 2 consecutive balls fast. It's not to hit harder, it's just to charge faster. He's setting different kinds of tempo. So the blocker has to choose between moving with steps or just moving sideways. So the last exercise, one positive side of it is that the players have to read much more where the ball comes from, and they get better to get the timing by doing that. And in that way, it's easier when a setter is setting as well. So by throwing the ball from behind and going to attack is very good for. It's very important to get the right timing between the attacker and the setter, especially for women's. But it's like if you get the right timing on different kind of sets, it's the central attacker can have more approach ways to more variation in approaching. So. The setter has to reach as high as possible so that the ball has the shortest way to the attacker, and at the same time the attacker has to be able to hit the ball when he is dropping, not at the top but when he's on the way down. So, it's a characteristic by high level play if the ball is off the net and the setter is able to set the first tempo like that. And this is also